If you've watched enough of my videos, you will have seen occasionally my arcade cabinets creeping into the shots. They are down the right hand wall at the side of my workshop. And I thought today we'd take a look at one of the cabinets, because it just happens to be 20 years old today, and that's the Battlezone cabinet, and that's the one that I use the most. So we'll have a look at that. Now, it's quite difficult for me to get the entire cabinet in shot at any given time because I simply can't get back far enough. Yeah, that gives you can see what it's all about. There you go. Let's tip the camera up a little bit. Yeah. So it's a floor standing cabinet, full size, full height. And well, I guess the first question, why Battlezone? Well, Battlezone by Atari came out in 1980. And in the early 1980s to mid 1980s, you could find these in pubs and arcades all across the UK. And there was one in my local pub, and I was absolutely addicted to it, and I spent hours and hours and hours playing this game, and I actually got pretty reasonably good at it. I even held the high score for a few weeks in my pub, so you know, that's one of those things. But it was great. Anyway, they disappeared from the pubs towards the end of the 80s, as did most arcade machines. But I decided that I was so addicted to this game, I decided that one day I would have my own cabinet. So, scroll forward to the early 2000s, I think it was probably about 2002. And the time was right, I had space, and I thought, right, I'm going to get myself an Atari Battlezone cabinet. Now, even back then, they were fairly rare, the original cabinets, and they were extremely expensive, way beyond my means. So I couldn't afford an actual original, so I thought, well, I'll build my own. And you could pick up old arcade cabinets, empty ones, off of eBay for a relatively small amount of money. And that's what this cabinet was. It was an empty cabinet. I bought it as an empty cabinet. There was no monitor, no board in it, no coin mechs, no door, nothing. Just a gutted cabinet. I think originally it was a golf game. Unfortunately, it was for sale fairly close to where I live, so it wasn't a difficult pickup or anything. Just about fitted in my car that I had at the time. Brought it back, and then I basically constructed this from that empty cabinet. Now, there are some original Atari Battlezone parts on this cabinet. This is a genuine marquee from one of the smaller Battlezone arcade cabinets. There were at least 3 different types. There was a small cabaret cabinet, and that's the marquee from one of those. I managed to get that off of eBay in the States, so I'm well happy with that. This is my favourite part. This is an original Atari Battlezone control panel with original sticks and buttons. I was well pleased. Again, that came from eBay in the States. I was well pleased to get that. It's still working. I mean, this is steel plate that's actually made out, obviously made to last, and the control sticks are also pretty bloody tough. There's a few cracks in them. This is very old plastic now, but it all still works fine. No problems at all. So basically, inside the cabinet, we have a very early, I think it's a Pentium era PC, small form factor PC. And that powers a very small flat screen monitor that was originally in an IBM server rack. So it was a rack mounted monitor, and it fitted perfectly inside the cabinet, which is why I used it. Now, I always intended to upgrade that to a CRT because obviously the original games didn't use flat screen monitors. There weren't any. It was CRTs, but I never got around to doing it. I probably will do it one day, but for the time being, it's a flat screen TFT display. And there's a pair of powered speakers in there, and then in order to interface the switches on the control panel to the PC, I simply used an old PC keyboard, gutted it, and connected the switches, the various different switches from the coin mechs and the control sticks, into that keyboard, that old keyboard, and then that plugs into the PC. And yeah, it works a treat. So there is one other genuine Atari part in the cabinet, and that's the coin mech door, and this is off of an Atari Asteroids machine, which is identical, to be honest with you, to the coin mech door that's on an actual Battlezone machine, except the Battlezone one would be black, whereas the Asteroids one is bare metal like this. But no, that's a genuine Atari part, and the coin mechs still work. So we'll have a look inside. There we go. There's the small form factor PC, and I'll get some light in there. You can see the cheapo, well, not cheapo actually, they're Vios. I didn't realise that. There's Sony powered speakers in the back there. There's a keyboard and a mouse for setup purposes. But yes, that's the that's basically the PC in there. And then we'll have a look at the coin mechs. And there's the coin mechs. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to take that door off again because it's getting looks like it's rusting quite badly over in that corner. I need to take that all off and clean it all up again. But say the outside of the door's okay. And the coin mechs all work fine. So, yeah. Right, let's get it powered up. Now, this is a very, very old PC. And it's going to take a while to boot. And as it's doing a RAM check, it probably means the CMOS battery's dead. Now, this worked fine the last time I booted this up. But of course, because I'm filming it, yes, look, absolutely typical. Marvellous. Yeah, great. Anyway, let me see if I can find the F1 key. We can get it to carry on. It will probably need some more fiddling, I would imagine. Oh yes, it is a compact, yeah. It was either a compact or a Hewlett Packard. I couldn't remember which, but... Oh, yes, look. Very typical. And I expect Windows will complain because the date and time's not set. I think it's Windows 2000 on here. Yeah, Windows 2000, there you go. I never really saw any reason to update it because it works fine. It's running an early version of MAME, which runs the game. So, yeah. Let's see if Windows... I'm sure Windows will complain about the date and time not being set. Like I said, it takes a while to boot. It's a very old PC. Come on. Yes, there we go. I knew it would. Now I've got to try and find the mouse. Bear with me. Yeah, we should be okay now. This is just a batch file which runs up MAME, and it tells it which game it wants, which is of course Battlezone. So now I have put a slight delay in this, which it's now running. It's now counting down. That allows it just to make sure everything powers up in the right order. So hopefully we should be into the game in a minute. Yep. Come on. Yes, there we go. Finally. Well, there you go. You know, it took a while, but we got there in the end. So, yeah, I've swapped over to the my still camera. It's just much better for low light conditions like this, and we'll use this to do the game filming. But I thought you might like to see the splash screens that come up, particularly like this one. Guess what influenced this screen, I wonder? Yeah, nothing to do with Star Wars whatsoever. Right, let's get on and play a game. Okay, so I've switched over to my still camera because it's much better at low light video capture. And here we go. I do apologise if I knock the camera because I'm actually playing this game around the tripod. Physics in this game is brilliant. Tribute to Ed Rothberg, who was the lead programmer. Damn. Missed that one. Anyway, I think you get the idea. Okay, I've had to restart the camera because my battery ran out. Brilliant. So this is not actually the same game, but I'm roughly at the same point as I was in the first one. I'm not going to play this for hours, but well, I am going to play this for hours, but off camera. Like I said, I do tend to get addicted to this. At a certain point in the game, the tanks changed to super tanks, which move much faster. In fact, they move much faster than you do. You can still outmaneuver them though. At the moment, we're still on the standard tanks that start the game. go, first super tank. How's the fun? Should a little bastard to those missiles though. Yeah, I didn't quite do that one quick enough. Anyway, I think you get the idea. I could spend hours and hours on this. So, I think we'll just let this one come round. Anyway, you get the point. There's a quick shot on the marquee. It looks very nice when it's lit up. Let's do the coin mech. Well, that's about it for the Battlezone cabinet. I shall probably spend several hours this morning battling away there. I still love this machine, and the fact that, you know, I built it and all the rest of it. Obviously I didn't make the cabinet, but I actually constructed the machine and all the rest of it, and it's still working 20 years later. Like I said, there was a few hiccups this morning, and that's just the CMOS battery gone flat. Change that, set the date and time, and it'll be absolutely fine. But yeah, it's still my favourite machine. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this little video on my Battlezone cabinet. As always, thanks very much for watching. Cheers.